Garrett Blevins here with day 2. This is a primary squat day, but I also have some benching in here. I have benching on every day. Here you see the shoulder rock. This is the first time I've recorded using it. It's about the third time I think that I've used it. For me it was fairly intuitive. I still need to make some adjustments on my form, obviously. I'm not completely used to it, but I'm definitely getting better with it, and I really think that it works pretty well for opening up the shoulders. On this day, I did 5 each way, and then did 2 rounds of that. Mostly because my shoulders were already pretty warm. I haven't been doing a lot of squatting, and was already feeling pretty open. But usually I'll do something like 2 sets of 10 each side, or even 3 sets of 10. And sometimes I will also do these on off days. However, I do have a ways to go before I think I'll be a professional. And from what I understand is when you're a professional, it looks something like this. Arnold, I believe, was the first to use the shoulder rock, and I think Chris Duffin just stole it from him. Not 100%. In any case, some work to do there. So squats for this first week, this is the lighter volume day, and so 3 sets of 8 is what I had for low bar squats. I am trying to clean up my walkout a little bit into a good 3-step walkout, though I do have some definite growth in that area. I get pretty lightheaded as I hold my breath and take the slow steps back. I really like to set up quite a bit quicker and then take a short breath out, short breath in, and then start the descent. I'm no longer going to worry about depth, I think. My depth has always been good in competition. I don't think I've ever received a red light for depth in any situation, and so feeling pretty good about that on this day, but in general I'm not too worried about it. My hips will get beat up as training cycles go on, and depth kind of changes back and forth. I think if you haven't competed before, making sure that you're convincingly deep is important, but once you've been competing for a while, I think your proprioception should get good enough to where you know when you're hitting depth or not. You'll notice here on the left side of the screen there's a mat up in front of the mirror. I am trying to put that up there so I get used to just squatting with no mirror in front of me. In any case, these were a little taxing. Sets of 8 are just always hard, even though this is lighter weight. I think it's something like 68% or something like that. This was still a little bit of a tough day, though not as bad as I thought it would be after the deadlift day that I had, because I was sore for a long time. It helped that I had my deadlift day on Monday, and this was a Thursday, so I had had 2 full days of rest in between. The weights moved pretty well and felt that I was bracing decently. However, just started to get really a big lower back pump. A lot of blood rushing in there. And you'll see on the high bar squats that follow this, I think all of them without a belt. And pretty much that was so that I could let that blood flow through my lower back and have a little bit easier time just dealing with that. That's pretty much what keeps me out of squatting more than anything else, is when my lower back starts to cramp up. That said, moved directly into high bar squats, and I did feel fairly happy with my form, especially since I haven't used heeled shoes for squatting in quite a while. So I followed that 3x8 with a 5x5. I did leave all of the sets in here, if anything, to show how annoying the volume gets after a while. It is something that's difficult. One of the things, though, I think Chad Wesley Smith has commented on this a few times, but I do think that low bar squatting is a great way to display your strength, and high bar squatting is a great way to develop that strength, at least for the quads. You'll see on some of the reps, the last rep of the set on these, I will pause on the bottom, and really just coming up out of that, I get a really good stimulus all the way through my quads, and feel that it helps develop a lot of strength. Additionally, my back, since I am more upright in these squats with my torso, they allow me to do more reps and not get quite as fatigued with that lower back pump. I actually got stronger as these sets of 415 went on. However, like I mentioned, this is the low volume day. Next week I'm going to bump up to 4 sets of 8 and then also 5 sets of 5. So it's only 1 set of 8 more with low bar, but that actually I think is going to make a substantial difference. Also, I'm probably going to try and use the belt on my high bar squats on that day, and hopefully do a little bit more weight. I'd like to get around the 425 to 435 range for these, and maybe even heavier if I can stand it. I might try some ramp up sets. I don't remember if I kept my wrist wraps on, but I did not wrap my wrists tightly, even if they were on for these high bar squats. I find that with high bar, I have better shoulder mobility and don't need to actually use wrist wraps on them. There's not as much pressure there. With the low bar, however, I definitely will get wrist pain if I don't use wrist wraps. And that's something to pay attention to. If you're getting weird elbow pain or tendonitis, um, make sure that you're pulling that bar down into yourself, like you're doing a lat pull down behind the neck or something like that. Don't just let the bar rest on your back, and definitely don't push up against the bar like you're trying to do a behind the neck press. Pull the bar into yourself, get tight, and hold it there. I found that that helps with any sort of elbow pain and wrist pain. The thing is with low bar squat is I can't pull the weight down into myself because I'm so stiff I can hardly get my the bar down low enough in the first place, much less pull it in. So I'm hoping the shoulder rock will help with some of that. Followed up with some speed bench, 8 sets of 3 with 335. I only filmed a couple of these sets because they're pretty boring and it's kind of the same old, same old. However, either from the failed 501 bench or some of the failed floor presses from my last workout, my shoulders were really beat up, especially my left shoulder, which is not usually the case. I tried to set my shoulders. You see that jump stretch band on the left side of the screen. What I do is I wrap that around my back and then lean into it and kind of rotate my arm as my arm is extended back and forth to set my shoulders. Try to get a video of that here next couple of days. That and the shoulder rock were two things I used to try to help my shoulders get into good positions. But it was just a hard day today. It just really felt beat up. Spoto presses, 3 sets of 6 with 355. Not that impressive. But again, at the beginning of training cycles, your numbers are just not going to be as good sometimes as you would like them to be. I'm also having this weird glute pain when I'm on the bench press. If I'll put my feet back more and really try to arch up and tighten my glutes, I get this strange pain running through. I think I just maybe got some muscle strain or fatigue. I'm not sure. But I feel it most on bench, though I'll also feel a little bit at the top of a squat. It might be the QL muscle acting up, though it feels a little bit further to the left rather than that just tailbone pain. So I'll be kind of watching that as I go forward. In any case, I think I'm appreciating the volume, I guess I should say. I'm really enjoying the volume work again. It's kind of monotonous. It's not great numbers. But I always feel really good coming out of the gym after a heavy volume workout like this, even though this was technically the lighter volume day on squats. It's really enjoyable, and I like this. It's definitely more of a bodybuilding style. You're trying to get a pump to a degree. You're trying to, push a lot of blood into your muscles. But if you do that, and if you have those building periods, some people, talk about the off-season periods, it really sets you up to have some continued progress and can really have some good long-term results. That said, after my Spoto pressing, I did some croc rows and some hammer curls, upper back work, and then some of that elbow and bicep work to mitigate any pain from squats. But that was about it. In any case, I hope wherever you're at, you're doing well. Blessings.